I'm gonna talk briefly about what has happened now, since there's probably a bunch of people here that weren't here before. So it's gonna be short, nothing crazy, just short and concise. Get it out of the way, and then we go next game, okay? So the first thing I want to say is that I did not watch the trailer or the video, and therefore I will not answer any questions about it. The reason why I want to have it like this is because to get back on track mentally, I think it's important I don't talk about the past. Basically, we have really important games this week in our playoff run. Games that will decide if we have a chance for EU Masters or not, and if we qualify to finals and go to the Nottingham event. And these things are really important to me. So I feel like if I watch the trailer or the video or answer any questions about it, I wouldn't really be allowed to move on mentally and get back on track mentally as soon as possible. So I just really want to focus on what is ahead instead of what is behind, so to speak. So that's that. I want to talk a bit about how I have been emotionally, how I am, and how I will be. So I haven't been that well. As most of you know, I skipped 3 days of scrims and took some time just to get back on my feet. I don't think I was completely destroyed or anything, but I am happy that I managed to get some time off, because I think if I just kept on playing, kept ignoring what was happening, then I would have had a harder time doing what I mentioned before, moving on and focusing on what is ahead. Dealing with it in some way, maybe just dealing with it in some way was really helpful. So I haven't been that well, but because I managed to get these days off, I think I am better now than I would have been otherwise. For example, if you compare a scenario where I had these days off and I could chill a little bit and get on my feet again versus just ignore the whole thing and keep on working, I think today, Monday, I'm much better off because of that. So I haven't been that well, but I'm much better now, I would say, due to taking a small break. And I think I will be fine with time. I wouldn't say I'm good right now either, but I'm getting better, and I think with time I will be fine. Just that's the key component. I need time and space. So please bear with me as I get back into league, and maybe I'm a bit more quiet than usual because my energy is lower than usual. So it's gonna take some time to get back to like 100% again. Maybe I would say I'm at like a solid 50 now, which is pretty good, all things considered, I would say. So I will do my best, of course, and give my best to the team, make sure I perform so that we can win our games. But just keep in mind that things have been tough and will be tough for a while before I get back to 100%. So those were the two big ones. I will just summarize, since I was kind of not speaking correctly. I didn't watch the video. I didn't watch the trailer, and I don't want to answer questions about it because of that. And the reason is I want to get back on track mentally as soon as possible and focus on what is ahead of me. And anything to do with the trailer, video, answering questions will just keep me in the past, and I don't want to be there. And then the emotional state, haven't been that good, feeling a bit better now, but still not that great. And with time I will be fine, I think. Especially, I think after the split. So I kind of wanted to end with this, but basically my plan to get good again, to feel good again about myself, is to take a break after the split. Right now there's not really time for it, so the days that I took before were more like, how would you say, just to survive. It wasn't to feel good again, it was more just to not break apart, more like that. So I think after the split I will take a proper break and really try to feel good again about everything. But for now, since there is not really time for that, I'm just gonna keep going as much as I can, do my best every day to give the team a good support performance and to play the game, do my part. And hopefully after the split with a proper break, I can feel like 100% again in the future. So the last thing I want to say is just a big thank you to everyone for sending me messages. I read that Discord group chat, which was called Wholesome Talk, when this happened, and I've been reading it over the days, and it's been like one of the few places on the internet where I knew I could get 100% support. Since I am not feeling that good, and I haven't been feeling that good, it's been hard for me to filter the good and the bad, so to speak. Even if 90% of the comments are positive, the 10% negative kind of like etched on my mind. So having this kind of Discord thing that you guys set up was really helpful, because I knew every time I would go there and read a message, it would be a positive one. So I could reinforce myself that things are all right and there's like a way out of this. And yeah, I'm really glad that you guys helped me with this. So thank you for that. And I want to say thanks to Mark as well for covering while I couldn't play. I think in any other team, this would have been a much bigger mess than it was. But thanks to Mark, he kept everything going anyway. So no big deal, right? In some way. I'm really thankful that Mark is there for me, not only emotionally and talking to me every day and helping me, but actually also covering for me in scrims and making sure the team can keep going anyway. And last, I just want to say thanks to the team as well for giving me space and time to get on my feet. I think kind of same thing again. Not every team would be okay with what happened and deal with it as good as they have. So I'm really grateful that I have such a good coach and such good teammates that understand what I'm going through, check in on me daily, cover for me when I cannot play. Just amazing teammates and coach that care for me so much. I think that's pretty much it, all I want to say really. I guess on a side note, this is sort of like an idea I had, not really related to this anyway, but basically on the 5th of April, so we're 2 months away from this, it is gonna be the anniversary for my public diagnosis interview with Kadrel. And I thought it would be a decent time also with the Autism Awareness Day, 2nd of April, to do some kind of talk or some kind of video, sort of what I'm doing now. I know I'm not really going in depth into anything right now, but I think this kind of talk could be really interesting, maybe for you guys and for me as well, to speak about my mental state after diagnosis versus before. Because I think if something like this happened to me before my diagnosis, I wouldn't have handled it as well as I have now. Like maybe when you listen to me right now, when you look at me right now, you don't feel like I'm in a good place. But if I think about myself compared to where I would have been if I didn't have the diagnosis, I think I'm in a great place right now. I think my mental state is so much better than it's ever been. So of course I'm not feeling good right now, but just the way I'm handling things in my mind, the limitations I set to what I can and cannot do, is just so much healthier than it's ever been. So I just had this idea that from this it could be interesting to do some kind of like video or talk when the anniversary is here and the World Autism Awareness Day is here, and just talk about everything. I think that could be interesting. It's just kind of a side note, not really related to this, but I just had this, like, when I was reflecting about how I'm feeling right now and how I have been feeling and how I will be feeling, I came to the conclusion that I'm not feeling as bad as you might think. And so much of that is due to how much better my mental state has been after my diagnosis and how much more tools I have, I guess, to work with, and how much more aware I am of what I can and cannot do. because this happened, what, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, but I think I can work today, no problem. And I think even on Friday, I was sitting here watching the scrims and I was thinking, I can probably play today. And that kind of like, how would you say, trajectory, or that kind of way of dealing with things is unheard of for me, at least. I've always been struggling with things that are much smaller than this one, but being able to handle this in such a good way, I was kind of surprised by myself, if that makes sense. I think I have done, I can see my own work behind the scenes really coming to fruition in a situation like this. So I'm all right. So that's that, I think. I had some bullet points in front of me, in case you're wondering why I've been looking that way. But it was basically 3 things I wanted to say, just that I haven't watched anything and I will not answer anything, because that's just going to keep me in the past and I don't want to be there. I want to be in the now and in the future, because Los Ratones is fucking amazing and I have a great coach and great teammates, and we're in the middle of our split and we have important matches this week, and I just want to give it my most and focus on that instead. An emotional state we talked about a bunch. Don't need to do more of that. I think the important part is just I'm all right, and I will be all right. So I appreciate you guys caring for me, but I will be all right. And yeah, all the thank yous. I think especially Mark, honestly, he's there for me every day, and he covers for me as well in the game. So kept the team going. Without him, it wouldn't work. So that's that. Let's play a game.